Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to be talking about a Dogecoin 7-year cycle and future price targets for Doge. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we've been talking about this latest surge we've had in the Dogecoin price from February to late March, and the retracement that we've had over the past week or so, and where Dogecoin will go from here. Somebody has already taken a look at this, at least the recent price surge, but didn't really factor in the retracement that we've just had. So I've taken a look at this a little more closely and have a chart that I think is very important to look at, not only in terms of the short term, but the long term possible gains for Doge. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at that in more detail and some of the news associated with it. Let's take a closer look. So we're going to start actually by looking at my YouTube channel and some prior videos that I made. We were talking about wealth building, and that wealth building discussion started last summer when we were at the bottom of the bear market in terms of altcoins. And more recently, 2 months ago, I made this video, Life-Changing Wealth with Dogecoin, and it's been getting a lot more views recently. A lot of people really interested in this, and I invite you to watch it as well. Life-Changing Wealth with Dogecoin. And what does that mean, and what is life-changing? Life-changing is where the Dogecoin price can go from here, which we started talking about a couple weeks ago. And then this article here was Dogecoin price prediction for April. Can Doge hit 30 cents? Well, that was a short-term view, and I actually was predicting April's price to move up for Doge, and instead it has retraced. And that retracement was really based more on Bitcoin and how Bitcoin has pulled back and Doge has followed it, because Doge hasn't had that catalyst that is needed for it to really move up by itself, and that still may take a while. However, in looking at this article and where that Dogecoin pullback could continue from here was instead led to this post by trader Tardigrade. And we talked about this a couple times, but I'm going to key more into this. Someone brought it up during a live stream of the Dogecoin 7-year cycle. And I was like, 7-year cycle? What's a 7? No, we have 4-year cycles, right? What's the 7-year cycle? And this was very interesting because it looked at Dogecoin in a period of time from when it started to when it went on its first really huge run, and then how that could be mirrored again into the next 7 years, of which we're actually almost 3 years into this next cycle. We're 3 years into it, and it's happening now. Do we realize what is really going on here? So we have this article, Dogecoin finds a bottom, how the 7-year cycle can send the price to, well, they say $40. I'll show you how I have changed that outlook, because $40 right now seems like kind of crazy. But what is the bottom? And this article was Dogecoin to bottom around 16 cents. And as we've seen in the price most recently, we just had a dip here. And this dip just happened yesterday, down to 16.75. So that actually seemed to be pretty close on. So with that dip, now we've seen the recovery more recently, back up to 18 cents. So that is good for Doge, and Doge is sitting well there. But then this article also talks about Dogecoin running in this cycle of 7 years. We can see a similar price action in the first half of the current cycle compared to that of the last cycle, when we were at 0.0007 in 2017. Never believed then that Doge would spike at 0.003, 0.009, it hit a penny, and then up to 35 cents. And curious that 35 cents number comes in. I'll show that in a minute. And today, and of course this was a week ago, we are at 22 cents, which we've now retraced back from then. So that was posted on April 1st. But what does that really mean and what does that look like? So here is the chart. And I've taken this chart, and let me go to the background, and we'll be able to compare this to what we're looking at in terms of the overall Dogecoin chart, because we'll be looking at the Dogecoin chart as well in comparison. But this 7-year chart, now I've taken this and I've actually modified what TA Trader Allen on X posted, because he made this chart on April 1st. And actually comparing the previous 7 years, what we really saw, what I saw, was a cup and handle. We saw this big cup and then the handle. There was a retracement there before moving up into a descending wedge, which then led to the big breakout that ended that 7-year cycle. And that was going back again to 2014, the initial launch of Doge, then the pullback and that whole cup. And then we had the handle, and then the move up into this descending triangle. So where does that lead? That goes from 2014 to 2021. That's the 7 years. So if we're looking at price targets now, what I looked at was kind of interesting that that cycle then ends at 35 cents. He doesn't show the spike up to 74, 75 cents. He doesn't show that there. He just shows the 35 cents. And why is that interesting? Well, I talk about 35 cents as well, and you guys that follow me know that 35 cents is a price target that I have. And where does that come from? Well, we zoom back and we look at the big run up that Dogecoin had, up over 70 cents back late April, early May of 2021. When Dogecoin retraced back down, when it was getting heavily shorted down, all the way down to 20 cents, it spiked back up, came back down to like 17, 16 cents. But then and this was in September, October of 2021, Dogecoin actually traded back up to 35 cents again. So that 35 cent line repeated as essentially a high point of trading outside of the big craziness that we had, which came up further. So you know that I've been talking about 35 cents as a key line of when maybe I'm going to start taking some profits, sort of start to layer out, but there's a bigger picture in store, and that bigger picture is based on this. If you take that 35 cent line, which Trader Tardigrade did, and says, we are in almost 3 years now into the next 7-year cycle in Dogecoin. And what could that include? So what I did was I took his fractal from the previous run and I moved it. I moved it over to incorporate a handle here. So I added this little handle here, which is similar to what Dogecoin did back here, and that would have been in the 2017 time frame. There was a handle before a run up. So I added that. I added that handle. I took that fractal and I moved it actually down a little and over, and then we'll look at it from there. And that would mean that in this cycle, we could see a move up to $2. So that would be this $2 line here. And again, this chart is more on, it's a logarithmic chart, so it's on percentage gains. But we would see a move up to $2, a retracement back possibly to $1 before a move up to $7. And that would be in this overall 4-year cycle going back to 2021 to 2025. So we could see a 2024 end of year price target of $2 and then a 2025 surge up to $7. Before then, completing the full 7-year cycle with a descending wedge, a move back down, possibly below $2 again, from $7 all the way down below $2, before then running up in the next 4-year cycle to end this 7-year cycle up to $30. That article had $40, but I have modified this to a $30 target. So that would be a completion of a cup and handle formation, a run up, retrace, and then second run up before making the next big, kind of going through a bear market and then bull run again. So what could cause this $2 and $7? Well, these would be these catalysts, right? One of them could be X payments and having Dogecoin be on X payments. The other could be Tesla cars and being able to use Dogecoin to buy Tesla cars. Those two events plus whatever would follow on from that, because most likely if Dogecoin is being used all across the X platform, there's going to be other major companies, maybe social media platforms and whatever, would start including Dogecoin. That could be this sort of huge run that we could see first later this year and then in the following year. Could be this double run up to a $2 and then a $7 price target. What happens after that? After the next bear market and then bull run? Who knows what that could be? That's still a few years in the future. But this is what we want to concentrate on right now for this, is this 7-year cycle. This is the middle of the cycle that we're in, which includes this next big run up. And when we talk about wealth building, this is what we're talking about, is buying in low for that big run up that eventually is going to happen with Dogecoin. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about these price targets, these catalysts, where Dogecoin plays in this, and is this 7-year cycle really real? Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.